exponential equations, right, the word equations comes from what? What do we know about the word equation? What does the word equations sound like? What are we thinking? It comes from this first part over here. Anybody got an idea? Something about this something like that. What can we think about? Exponential equation. What word does that come from? Who can venture a guess? Correct, Deborah. A equals B, but it's more about the sign in the middle, this sign, right? The sign over there. It actually talks about equations or the equal sign. So we want something to equal something else. Now, in this case, we want our unknown to equal something. Okay, we want our unknown to equal something. So we're going to have either X is equal to something, or B is equal to something, or A is equal to something. And that's what we're going to get at. But in staying with what you guys have been learning with Teacher Cat, we're going to be talking about exponential equations. All right, I'm going to venture an easy sum for you guys, and we're actually going to use this one that ma'am has over here, right? No, actually, let me look for an easier example. Now, if I asked you guys, I've got 2 to the power of something. I don't know what that thing is yet, so I'm going to call it X. I'm going to go 2 to the power of X is equal to 4. What value of X do we need in order to make this true? What must X be equal to in order for this to be true? 2 to the power of what equals 4? That's it, Deborah. Excellent. Right, we know that 2 to the power of 2, that's it, Ilham, well done, Bukhali, will equal 4, right? But now, this is quite easy because we can see it, right? We can see exactly what it is that we're doing with this, right? What happens now if I say to you guys, I've got 2 to the power of X is equal to 128. Oh, now it's not so easy to see, right? It's a little bit more difficult to see in that case. So what we're going to try and do over here is we're going to try and give both the left and the right side the same base. We're going to try and give them the same base. Now, remember, guys, the base is this number over here. It's the number at the bottom, right? So I want you guys, I just want to check, does everybody have a scientific calculator? Like, you're either going to have a blue one like this, or a pink one, or a white one, or a black one maybe, depending on which one you have. Yes, have we all got this? Okay, good, Logan, excellent. Well done, Asanda. All right, so we're all going to switch our calculators on, and I'm going to teach you guys a bit of a trick, because now you're in grade 9. We don't have to remember everything by ourselves. We're going to click on our calculators. You're going to click the number 128. So we're going to click 128, 128, and then I want you to click the equals sign. 128 equals. And then your calculator is just going to say 128, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to click the shift button at the very top left. Click shift. And then you're going to go look for a button that looks like this. It's got a circle and then it's got a comma, comma, comma. Because right above this button that has the circle, comma, comma, there's a word that has fact. There's a word fact there, right? So I want you to do this in exactly this order. You're going to click 128 equals, shift, and then click the fact button and tell me what your calculator says. Somebody can put their hand up for me if you've got an answer. Bongo Musa, tell me, what did your calculator say? You can unmute, my darling.
It says 2 to the power of 7.
Excellent, good. Well, so what that tells me, Bongo Musa, is that 2 to the power of X is actually the same as 2 to the power of 7. Thank you very much, sir. Beautiful. Oh, excellent work. All right, so if 128 can be written as 2 to the power of 7, because now I have the same base, I've got a 2 there and I've got a 2 there, what I can now do is I can cancel my bases. And then what is X equal to? x is actually equal to 7. How cool is that? That's pretty nice, right? So whenever we're doing these kinds of questions, we always want to make sure we have the same base, all right? So the first thing we're always going to do is try to find the same base. Okay, and if we're struggling on how to do it, we can always just pick up our calculator and we put into our calculator whatever the number is equals, remember this, you must remember this. Okay, we're just going to change out the number according to whatever number we need, right? We're going to click this number equals shift fact. And it's going to make our lives so much easier because it's just going to give us the prime factors of that number. Do you remember in grade 8, they made you guys do the ladder, right? They would say to you, take 128 and use the ladder method or the tree method, and then you would prime factorize, and you would go, okay, 2 goes in there, and 128 divided by 2 is going to give me 64, and then you would keep going, divided by 2 is 32, divided by 2 is 16, and you would keep going and keep going and keep going, right? All of this can be done on your calculator just by clicking that. All right, so we don't have to do that long prime factorization that we used to do in grade 8. You can just click shift fact on your calculator. All right, let's look at an example. Let's see who can get on this example with me. Let's look at this first example over here. 3 to the power of x is equal to 27. Now, I could figure out what 27 is, or 3 to the power of 27 is, but what we're going to do is we want to write 27 as 3 to the power of something. Tebogo, do you have an answer for me? How else can I write 27 as 3 to the power of what?
3 to the
What are we
power of
thinking?
3.
Beautiful, my darling. Yes, absolutely. So I know I can write, I'm going to write A over here. 3 to the power of x is equal to 3 to the power of 3. Now that I have the same base, what can I do with my two bases, Tebogo?
Cancel them.
Absolutely.
Cancel
So
them.
what is x equal to there?
3. X is
X
equal
is
to...
equal to 3. Well done, my darling.
Thank you.
Wow. Well done. Very, very good. Very, very nicely done. Okay. Yes, correct. I am using a method very similar to the ladder method, but in this case, it's going to depend on where the x is. All right. Okay, let's look at this next one that we've got over here. Now my number, the thing that's missing is the base. The base is missing, right? Not the exponent, the base is missing. So I know that I can rewrite 16 as what? Who's got an answer for me? Hands up. How else can I write 16? Bongo Musa, well, how can we write 16?
We are going to say 4 to the power of 4.
Ooh, 4 to the power of 4 is not going to give me 16. Okay, if we're stuck, Bongo Musa, do that thing that we did on our calculator. So you're going to click 16 equals shift and then look for the fact button and tell me what your calculator says.
4 to the 16 plus 2. 2 to the power of 4.
Correct, 2 to the power of 4. All right, good. So now, Bongo Musa, do you see that what is actually equal? My exponents or my bases? My exponents are equal, yes? Right, so what am I going to do with these two exponents that are the same? I'm going to cancel, cancel. And therefore, x is equal to what? What is x equal to? Anybody can give me an answer in the chat? Because I think I've lost Bongo Musa. He's no longer, I can't hear him anymore. Correct, Neo. That's it, Deboho. Well done. Correct. The correct answer is x is equal to 2. Okay, beautiful. All right. I want us all to try question C. I want you guys to try C. Okay, and then pop your answers in the chat, or rather than pop your answer in the chat, I want you guys to pop your favorite emoji in the chat when you're ready. Okay, not the answer, pop your favorite emoji in the chat. I'll show you my favorite emoji right now. My favorite emoji is always this one, because it's lit. It's always lit in my maths class, and that's why I like that emoji. Oh, no, I don't know how I feel about that emoji, but okay, we'll take it. Logan, I like it. Always chasing money. I like it. Asanda falling asleep. I kind of feel you on that one. It's been a long school day. I like it. Thank you, Oleander. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Is it Eolanda? Eolanda. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Please correct me if I'm not. Okay. Okay, good. I think I've got enough emojis to see. Do I have a volunteer? Does anybody want to show me or tell me how they've solved this question? You can put your hand up if you'd like. Nobody? Okay, all right. Okay, let me see if I can do this one and everybody can check the answer. Okay, all right. So for C, I know I can write 5 to the power of x. And if I'm not sure how 125 needs to be written, I can actually just do 125 equals shift fact. So I know 125 is going to come out as 5 to the power of 3. Now, as soon as my bases are the same, I can drop them. I can drop that one and I can drop that one. And then my answer is going to be x is equal to 3. There we go. Well done. I know Tebogo got that right. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you got this one correct. Ilham, you're absolutely correct, my darling. But if I write 5 times 25, it's not really going to help me because I need to work in exponents. Okay, so I can't actually use 5 times 25. I need my answer to be 5 to the power of something so that I can compare exponents. All right. Okay, excellent. All right, let's have a look at D, because D is a bit of a tricky one, right? And bonus points to whoever can tell me what we need to do with 1. So if we look at the question for D here, it says 4 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to 1. Now, there's a particular mathematical rule. I want to see who can remember it. It says that anything to the power of something, let's call it x, right? I'm not doing this very well. Okay, so let's say x to the power of something is equal to 1. Who can remember what this something is? What goes in here? Anything to the power of is equal to 1. I want to see who can get this one right. Tebogo and Bukhali. Oh, absolutely. The answer is 0. Good. Anything to the power of 0 is going to equal 1. Right. Anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. But now, because if you look at our question over here, I have a base of 4 on this side. What do you think I'm going to change 1 to be to the power of 0? What base should I choose over here to make sure that I can compare exponents on both sides? What do you think I should make the base of 4, of 1? Something to the power of 0. What is that something? What can we pick? I wanted to match this side. I wanted to match this side. Tebogo, you're DMing me, but you're DMing me all the correct answers, which is lovely. I'm going to show you guys. Tebogo says, instead of writing 1, we should write, let me just put that back. We should write 4 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to 4 to the power of 0. Okay, which works, doesn't it? Because 4 to the power of 0 is 1. 4 to the power of 0 is exactly 1. Okay, Ilham says, what happens if you say x to the power of 0? If I say x to the power of 0, my darling, I'm going to get 4 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to x to the power of 0. Okay, now, do I have the same base? Can I drop my bases? I can't drop my bases here. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I have the same base on both sides. Okay, even if I said x to the power of 1, it's not going to help, my darling. Look, okay, x to the power of 1. It's not going to help us. Okay, because look at all the other questions that we did before. Okay, if we look at the question we did over here, do you notice how I have 3 as a base and I have 3 as a base? Yes. And over here, I have 5 as a base and I have 5 as a base. So the only way I can cancel the bases is if they're both the same. Okay, but over here, if I choose 4 and x, are those the same base? No, they're not the same base. 4 and x are not the same base, so I can't cancel them. So I can't do that. I can't do this. Okay, so the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if I have 4 for both bases. Am I making sense? Are you all with me? Are we good, my darling? Okay, good. All right, and Seth, absolutely, we're going to simplify. Now that I have the same base, I have 4 and 4, I can drop my bases, and then I can just make my exponents equal to each other. So I'm going to say x minus 2 is equal to 0. And now how do I solve for x? I'm just going to take this and I'm going to move it over to the other side, right? I'm going to move it over to the rainbow, over that side, or we transpose. I call this a rainbow. And I know that if this is -2, when it goes over to the other side, it's going to become +2. Therefore, x is equal to 2. How nice is that? Nice answer, yeah? All right. Okay. Excellent stuff. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to skip this one. Okay, I don't want us to do E because it's going to confuse us. So we're not going to do E. I want everybody to try that one. Okay, and it's going to be a little bit confusing, just a little bit confusing as we go. So I'm going to get x to the power of 3 is equal to 729. Okay, so this one is going to be a bit tough. Okay, because what we need to know is what something to the power of 3 actually is. We need to remember the opposite of an exponent. That's what we're going to have to remember here. Okay. Look at Logan. Logan has figured it out. Good. Logan's got the right answer for me, but I want to see if you click on your calculator. (729) equals shift fact. It gives us 3 to the power of 6 instead. Okay. All right. So this one over here, Logan says x to the power of 3 is equal to 9 to the power of 3. Now, if you used your calculator would have done this. It would have said that 729 is actually 3 to the power of 6. That's what your calculator would say, right? But now the problem that I'm going to have with that is that I've got a 3 at the top there. Okay, so I can do it this way. Do that. Correct, Deborah. Oh, yes, we need to cube root in this particular example. All right. Okay, so if I put this into my calculator, I'm going to go x to the power of 3 is equal to 3 to the power of 6. Okay, so I know that these two things are not the same. They're not the same. This is a 3 and that is a 6. That's not very helpful, right? But I know that I can break 6 up into a number with 3. What times 3 would give me 6? What times 3 would give me 6, guys? What number times 3 gives me 6? Correct. The answer is 2. That 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So I can rewrite this side as x to the power of 3 is equal to 3 to the power of 2 times 3. And then I can work out this part. What is 3 squared? What exactly is 3 squared? How much is 3 squared? Correct. Deboho, you're DMing me and you're giving me the correct answers. Well done, Boshale. That's it. So I know that this then becomes 9 to the power of 3. Well done, Wade. That's it. Now that my exponents are the same, what can I do? I can drop my exponents. I can drop my exponents, drop my exponents. Therefore, x is equal to 9. All right. Okay, tell me in the chat, how are we feeling? Can we do these on our own? Give me a yes, ma'am. Give me a ma'am. I need more practice, or a yo, no, ma'am, you need to help me. Yo, ma'am, help me help myself. How can I do this? I don't know what I'm doing. Let me know how we're doing. All right, excellent. Bongo Musa says yes, ma'am. Neo says yes. Wade is in it. Excellent work, guys. I saw a thumbs up from somebody in the chat as well. Well done, Ashley. That's it, Bukhali. All right, I'm going to give you guys some examples to try on your own. Yes? Okay. I want us to do, we're not going to do all of them because, whoo, wow, that's a lot. Right. We're going to do A, B, C, and D. All right. And when you're done with A, B, C, and D, I want you to pop your favorite emoji in the chat now. If I'm going to give everybody about 6 minutes. If at the 6-minute mark, you're done, but there's still time left, I want you to continue. Okay, don't wait. Go ahead and try E and F and whew, G, my Lord. All right, G and H are very difficult, but we're going to get there. All right, take it away, guys. I'm just going to switch on my lights quickly. Rone, can I ask you to put your favorite emoji in the chat, except not the answers just yet, please, my darling? All right, everybody who's still busy, you've got 1 minute, and then we're going to get started. All right, peeps, let's have a look at answers. It's okay if you're not done. You can just catch up with us as we go through. All right. Okay, let's start with A. Okay. I know that I can rewrite 3 to the power of x, and I know that I can rewrite 9 as 3 to the power of 2. Right. And as soon as I have the same base, I can drop my bases. Therefore, x is equal to 2. That's my final answer for A. Right? 1 mark if you manage to get that right. 1 mark. All right. Let's go to B. Let's do B. So B says I've got 4 to the power of x is equal to 256. Now, if I use my calculator and I go 256 equals, in fact, my calculator is going to do this. It's going to go 4 to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of 8, right? But this isn't going to help me because I've got a 4 there and I've got a 2 there. But I know that I can split 8 into 2 times 4. Yes, so I'm going to rewrite this side as 4 to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of 2 times 4. And I know that this part, this 2 to the power of 2, 2 squared is 4. 2 squared is 4. So I can then change that to 4 to the power of x is equal to 4 to the power of 4. Therefore, oh, my pen's not writing. There we go. Therefore, x is equal to 4. All right, 1 mark there, if you got that one right. Okay, let me see if I can maybe take a screenshot and move some of this down. There we go. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to take these two and I'm going to drop them down here. Wait. Let's move a little bit further down. Okay, I'm just going to put my thingy here and go Control V. There we go. All right, now we're busy with these 2 questions. I just want to make this a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, sure. 5 to the power of x is equal to 3,125. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sibongi Ngosi. Remember, these lessons are recorded. So if you don't get to the end of the lesson, then you are able to watch them. All right, so I'm definitely going to have to take my calculator and I'm going to go 3125 equals shift fact. And my calculator is going to do the work for me. Now I know that 5 to the power of x is equal to 5 to the power of 5. And now I have the same base, so I can cancel my bases. Therefore, x is equal to 5. Another mark. All right. Then we can do D. Let's look at D over here. Oh, I put it so far away. Let's see if I can move my screen. There we go. All right. So we're going to do the same with 27. I know that 27 can be written as, I'm going to write 3 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to 3 to the power of 3. Right. Now that my bases are there, or my bases are the same, I can drop my bases and I can make my the equations correct. Okay, Blessing, they are available on our YouTube channel. So we've got a MathsLive YouTube channel. You can check, you can go look for us on YouTube. We are MathsLive. Okay. All right, so now that I dropped my basis, I'm gonna get x minus 2 is equal to 3. Right, and now I need to solve for x. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the minus 2 over to the other side. And it's gonna become plus 2. And that's going to tell me x is equal to 3 plus 2. Therefore, x is equal to 5. There we go. All right. And another mark there. Okay, so 4 marks, guys. 4 marks. Tell me, how much did you get out of 4 in the chat? 1, 2, 3, 4. How did we do? Well done, Logan. Logan got 4. How did everyone else do? Deborah also got 4. Bohlale got total. I love that. Total. Well done, Bungumsa. Neo also got 4. Yeah, you guys got this waxed. It's quite easy, isn't it? It's just like, man, we got you. Nothing scary here. Nothing too difficult here. Right? Pretty easy. Okay. So I'm going to screenshot the next few questions and we're going to go ahead and look at them. All right. Oh, that's a new one. That's a new exercise. We're going to come back to that if we have time. So I'm going to move that down there. All right. And I'm just going to do that. Let me see if it actually drops it. Let me see. Okay, this thing is being really, really techy right now, and I need it not to be. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about E and F. Okay. I want you guys to go ahead and try E and F. They're going to use the exact same method that we've just looked at for the others. So everybody do E and F. I'm going to give everybody 3 minutes to do question E and question F. So go ahead and try those 2. All right, pop your favorite emoji again. You can switch emojis if you want. You don't always have to use the same emoji. You can use whatever emoji you're feeling in the chat. All right. Oh, Musa's already done, and so is Ilham. But I want, if you're already done with E and F, I want you guys to go ahead and try G and H. But I want you to tell me if, try them out to see if you can figure out what the answer is supposed to be, and then we'll talk about it. Ilham is asking, will we be having a brain break? I don't see one here. Teacher Cat hasn't added one. Oh, she has. She has. Absolutely, she has. Okay, so maybe let's do EF and we'll come back. We can do a little bit of a break and then we can come back. Okay. All right. Okay, shall we chat about these 2 questions? Okay. So same thing we're going to do here with E. Again, we're going to take, I'm going to have 5 to the power of x plus 2 is equal to, I'm going to go to my calculator, 625 equals fact, and that's going to give me 5 to the power of 4. And then I know that I have the same base, so I can drop them, cancel, cancel. I should get x plus 2 is equal to 4. Okay, and now I just need to solve for x. So I'm going to take plus 2 over to the other side is going to become minus 2. So I'm going to get x is equal to 4 minus 2. Therefore, x is equal to 2. All right, there's another mark for you. And f, if we do f, I know that if I do this 4 to the power of x minus 1, if I click my calculator and I put 64 in, I'm going to get 2 to the power of 6. All right, which isn't going to help me, which means I now need to split 6 into 2 times 3, right? So I'm going to get 4 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 2 to the power of 2 times 3. And that helps me a lot because I know that 2 to the power of 2 is the same as 4, right? So I can then rewrite that as 4 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 2 squared will give me 4 to the power of whatever's left to the power of 3. Therefore, x is equal to 3. Ooh, not x, x minus 1. Ooh, teacher Coco. Don't forget, I'm lying. It's not x, right? Because if I cancel 4 and 4, I've got x minus 1 is equal to 3. X minus 1 is equal to 3. And then I can take the negative 1 over to the other side, and it's going to become positive 1. Let me just make some space. So I've then got x is equal to 3 plus 1. Therefore, x is equal to 4. All right. Okay. I hope we all did okay. Did we do okay with that question? Did we get x is equal to 4? Have a look. If you haven't, make sure your answer looks like mine, peeps. Well done, Logan. Always on point. Nicely done. Excellent. Well done, Tebogo. All right. Shall we have a bit of a brain break? Let's do a little bit of a brain break. Yes? Okay. All right. So tell me in the chat. Okay. Would you rather have a head the size of a tennis ball or the size of a watermelon? You have to pick one. Which one would you rather be? Tebogo, do you know? Tebogo says, Tebogo say tennis ball. Do you know what the size of a tennis ball actually, what a tennis ball actually looks like, guys? A tennis ball is this tiny. Imagine walking around with your big body and a head like this on top of your body. Guys, you would look so weird. I could never. No way. Yeah, I don't think any of those options are nice, but I would rather have a big head. I'm not gonna lie. I would rather have a head the size of a watermelon than the size of a tennis ball. No, no way. No way. I would rather have a big head. I will choose the watermelon any day over the tennis ball. Guys, tennis balls are like this tiny. No way. How is your voice gonna sound? Because it's coming from a really tiny mouth. Imagine now you're talking, you're like, hello, I can't do it. I can't do it. No, not in this lifetime. Oh, okay. Let's do number 2. I like this one. Would you rather have knives for fingers or licorice for fingers? Seth says licorice. Nell says knives. Angel says licorice. I feel like if my hands were made of licorice, I would eat them. I would like stay licking my fingers every day. I would literally just be out here just like, sorry, ma'am, yes, I'll concentrate. Just give me 1 second. I'll always be tasting my fingers. You'd always have me. And then by the time I get to like 18, I have no fingers because I licked them off because they were so delicious. But for those of you who says knives, did you guys know that there's actually a movie from the 1990 something? The movie's called Edward Scissorhands. It's literally called Edward Scissorhands. It's about a guy who has scissors for hands, like, you guys should go check it out. You must go check it out. It's a pretty cool movie. It's very, very cool. You should go watch Edward Scissorhands. Google it. It's a very, very cool movie. Wolverine, well, yes. I don't know about Wolverine because Wolverine still had hands. It's just that the knives came out of his hands. But yeah, I don't know. You wouldn't be able to hug people. You can't you're not allowed to come and high five me, Seth. You are never ever allowed to high five me if you have knives for hands. I'm just gonna put that out there. Yes, okay, fine. The other girl that he fought, yes. Okay. Okay, let's try this one. Would you rather eat a beetle or be stung by a wasp? Which one would you choose? Eat. So it's like eat before we even finish. Beetle. Eat a beetle, wasp. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I would rather eat the bug. I'm not gonna lie. It won't taste nice. I can brush my teeth after, but you guys know, yes, it's just one wasp. But here's the problem, guys. You know how a bee stings you, and then they have like, a bee has a tail that looks like this, right? And then they sting you, and then it gets stuck in you, and then the bee flies off, right? And then a bee only stings you once, and then bees die, and then the bee dies. And so it can't sting anybody ever again. So the bee dies. However, when a wasp stings you, it stings you like this. That's how a wasp stings you. Like it can sting you again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And it's not like it's not painful. So I would rather, nah, I'm good. I would rather eat a beetle. I'm fine. I'll eat a beetle any day. I'm cool. I'm not gonna. I was stung twice by a bee. Was it the same bee? I don't think it was the same bee. Exactly, Seth. I just need to pick a beetle that I can eat. Exactly. I don't think I would do that. You know, yeah. All right, let's answer the last one. Would you rather kiss a frog or have a snake wrapped around you? Oh, I'm not sure how that's possible. Which one would you do? Yes, Ashley, every day. I would rather kiss a frog. I'm sorry. Snake wrapped around. Guys, I'm deathly afraid of snakes. I could angels like the froggy, take the froggy. I would close my eyes. No, I can't. I will close my eyes and I will kiss it. Oh, the frog, no, it's not. Or the snake, neither of them are venomous. None of them. Oh, imagine, yes, imagine Luchevel becoming a snack for a snake. I can't even do it. No, I can't do it. I hate snakes with a passion. I feel like I am turning into Tagati, like one of those witches of the night, just walking around, being wrapped around by snakes. No, I can't do it. And snakes scare me. I will close my eyes and I will kiss a frog. Personally, I don't like frogs or snakes. In fact, I don't really like a lot of things that aren't people, but I will take the frog over the snake. I can't do it. Exactly. Guys. No judgment, no judgment. We're not allowed to judge. Okay, all right, guys, let's get back to it. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's go back to the question that we were working on before. Question G and H. Okay, let's look at G and H. All right, so if you have an idea on how we can solve G and H, can I ask you to put your hand up so we can have a look at how to answer these questions? Who's got an idea for me? Anybody? Let's look at G. What are we thinking? Okay, I'm going to show you guys something quickly. All right, I want you guys to do a favor for me before we start. I want you to take 256 and I want you to do that thing that we do on the calculator. 256 equals shift fact. Tell me in the chat, what does your calculator say? Remember, 256 equals shift fact. Good, thank you, Ashley. It says 2 to the power of 8. So I'm going to get 4 to the power of x plus 2 is equal to, now because I did the 256, I'm going to write 1 over 2 to the power of 8. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Let's say, for instance, I've got 3 to the power of minus 3. How do I change this 3 to the power of minus 3 to have a positive exponent? What would I need to do to make this to have a positive exponent instead of a minus 3? What would I have to do? Does anybody remember from the laws of exponents? Okay, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put it over 1. And then I'm going to have to flip them. This one will come to the bottom. And that one will go to the top, right? So my answer, that's it, correct. My answer would end up as 1 over 3 to the power of 3. Okay, that's how we make it, how we take something with a negative exponent and we make it a positive exponent. Now, imagine if I gave you this. What if I gave you that? What would happen if I flipped this, if I took this one back to the top? What would happen to my exponent? It would become what? If I took it to the top, then that would become 3 to the power of minus 3, right? It would become negative, correct. So let's look at this. Take this exact idea that ma'am has just written over here and look at this. How else can we write that? If I took this to the top, what would it become? That would give us 2 to the power of, correct. I could read your lips, Ilham. You're 100% correct. Well done. Okay, I'm going to get 4 to the power of x plus 2 is equal to 2 to the power of negative 8. Right? Now I know what I can do to make my exponents the same. I'm just going to split negative 8 into 2 times minus 4. I can split it like that, right? So that's going to give me 4 to the power of x plus 2 is equal to 2 times 2 times negative, 2 to the power of 2 times negative 4. And I know that this part over here, 2 squared, is going to give me 4. That part is going to give me 4. So I will end up with 4 to the power of x plus 2 is equal to, that part will give me 4 to the power of whatever's left, which is negative 4. Right. And now I can drop my bases, and then I can make my exponents equal. Drop the bases. I'm going to write over here. I'm then going to get x plus 2 is equal to negative 4. And now I can solve for x, right? I'm just going to take the 2 positive 2 over to the other side. And that's going to give me x is equal to minus 4 minus 2. Therefore, x is equal to minus 6. Right. How beautiful is that? How nice is that? That we can actually manipulate math like that and get a nice answer out.